Deep within the recesses of an uncharted asteroid belt, a covert research outpost brimmed with frantic activity. Dr. Lyra Vasilov's brow furrowed as she pored over the mission telemetry in the dimly lit control hub. "They're closing in fast," she warned, the holographic displays painting the vacuum of space in crimson hostility. "The Zankori fleet will be upon us in less than 6 cycles." Karim Adani, Lyra's second-in-command, released a haggard sigh. "Even if we could somehow conceal our wormhole research, they've no doubt caught wind of the probability cube." Murmurs of dread rippled through the skeletal crew of scientists and engineers. The mere thought of their revolutionary dimensional manipulator falling into alien hands sent a chill down Lyra's spine. "We'll have to enact the contingency," she said, her voice steeled with resolve despite the pit of dread gnawing at her core. "Evacuate all non-essential personnel and prepare for—" An urgent beep from Karim's terminal cut her off. "Ionization spike! They've punched through the nebula early!" Just then, the outpost's alarms erupted in a cacophony of shrill warnings. Lyra steadied herself against the tremors as the first shockwaves pummeled their feeble outpost's defensive shields. "Cube is still in its preliminary calibration phase," one of the technicians shouted over the din. "We don't have enough power to utilize its full potential." A burst of orange flame bloomed beyond the viewport, the twisted wreckage of their communication array spiraling into oblivion. Cut off from any hope of reinforcements, their sanctuary now starved of its electronic tethers to the outside world. Crimson strobes bathed Karim's haggard features as he turned to Lyra, his obsidian eyes reflecting the chaos. "Your call, Director." Lyra's chest tightened as she steeled herself for the unthinkable. With a sharp intake of breath, she gave the order that could seal their fate, for better or worse. "Divert all reserves to the cube. It's our only chance." As if awakened by her words, the imposing alien craft launched a blinding emerald fusillade, its scything beams carving through the very dust they had sought refuge within. The glare of its malevolent armaments illuminated a horrifying truth. The Zankori had arrived to erase all evidence of the probability cube, regardless of how many human lives were extinguished in the process. The emerald beams raked across the asteroid field in a blinding strafe, vaporizing anything in their path. Just as Dr. Vasilov braced for oblivion, an inhuman warble pierced the din, a high-pitched screech of confusion from the alien fleet. Karim's fingers flew over the controls, eyes widening in disbelief. "The cube ... IT:S, destabilizing their weapons arrays." Sure enough, the once lethal barrage had dissolved into a dazzling light show of misfiring energy bursts, detonating harmlessly against the void. On the main view screen, the gargantuan Zankori ships listed drunkenly, their perfectly synchronized armada descending into chaos. Lyra watched with bated breath as a volley of azure lances blazed forth from the alien cruisers, only to veer off in bizarre parabolic arcs that left the research outpost completely unscathed. A fierce grin spread across her features. "They can't override the probability fields." Around them, a meteor storm bombarded the invading flotilla in a cavalcade of cosmic shrapnel, ripping through their hulls like a microcosmic debris hurricane. Escape pods and damaged fighters spiraled every which way in a blinding cyclone of twisted wreckage. Over the comms, whoops of delirious laughter erupted as the researchers witnessed the near impossible. Their untested tech had turned the implacable logic of the universe on its head. Just then, an alien cruiser's reactor went into spectacular overload, its crew's screams of terror echoing briefly before the cataclysmic detonation engulfed the ship. Like frightened insects scattering from a cosmic blowtorch, the Zankori fleet broke formation in a desperate bid to flee the asteroid field's exponentially multiplying threat vectors. Karim slammed his fist on the console, eyes alight with incredulous victory. "That's it, you vapor-brained squids! Turn tail, and—" His celebration was cut short by a sudden sharp yelp from Dr. Vasilov. The director clutched her foot, hopping on her good leg as she glared daggers at the offending banana peel. "Who smuggled contraband foodstuffs onto my outpost?" Her furious bellow nearly drowned out Karim's howling laughter. In that moment, they knew the calculations would need refining, but the odds had shifted decidedly in their favor, for now.